Hey, Python here. So before we get to that Switch 2 Direct later this week, I at least wanted to just sit down here and talk about that Direct last week, which I wasn't expecting at all. Nobody was really expecting it. Yeah, besides the rumors, but I'm talking about like legitimately, we did not know we were gonna be getting any of these announcements. It was just like out of nowhere. We knew we were gonna get updates on like Pokemon ZA and Metroid Prime 4, but that's it. But like this Direct full of announcements is a complete surprise. So that's why I'm kind of like, yeah, people complaining are kind of overdoing it in my opinion, because like this was all just a bonus that Nintendo was giving us because we didn't know any of these announcements existed. So I think that's why I thought the Direct was really neat for what it was, and I think this is pretty much the swan song of Switch 1 Directs. This is pretty much the last Switch 1 focused Direct. So for what it was, I think it was fine enough. It makes sense why it was kind of lackluster, but I still like the Direct for certain reasons I'll get to later on. So I actually streamed this. If you want to watch that, I'll have the link to that stream in the description of the video. I actually messed up for like the first 5 or so minutes of the stream, so like the first kind of 4ish games, it kind of was pretty messed up, but I ended up fixing it. It's pretty funny though if you want to watch that. So okay, so the Direct first started with what was a complete shocker to me. They opened up with Dragon Quest of all things, which is really neat because I love Dragon Quest, so that's cool. That's cool by me. It's the 1 and 2 HD remake, and the third one had just come out like a couple months prior in November. So like it's great that they're showing these off again. My problem though is that it didn't have a definitive date, and I'm like, why though? You should have given. We're already 3 months into the year. I would have expected you guys to at least give us maybe like a summer, fall release or something. But besides that, they look beautiful. They look absolutely beautiful. Yeah. And apparently in the second game, it looks like they're gonna expand the character roster you can use. So you're gonna be able to have a 4-character party, which is pretty neat. Okay, so that was a great way to start off the Direct. Then the next game, I was shocked by this. I was completely shocked by this. It's like it's a new AI Somnium Files game. It's a third one, called No Sleep for Kaname Date, which is like the main male lead of this series. The reason why I was shocked is because I'm just shocked this series is getting a new entry. I was even shocked when it got a second game. Now, I had played the first one way back when. I never finished it, but I did play a bit of it, and I loved what I played. It's very unique. I love the premise. I love his girl companion. She's very cute. But when I got that second game, I'm like, okay, that's pretty surprising, but very neat. But now a third one? Because, like, I don't mean, I'm very happy for its fans. Like, hey, that's cool. New AI Somnium. I know this is not gonna, I know this probably blew over most people's heads, but to me it was just shocking. Then it went to what I think was actually really cool. It's the Raito remaster. So this is actually a PS2 game that they're remastering. No, it's not SMT, it's not Persona, it's its own series. It's Devil Summoner. And there's 2 of them. So I'm actually shocked that in this Direct there's a lot of like 1 and 2s being like remade or remastered together that are featured. But for some reason in here, it seems like they're just remastering that one game. So I hope that means that they're gonna remaster the second Raito game as well. Hopefully for like next year or 2 years from now, because it'd be pretty neat. And the remaster looks pretty good, and I'm actually really excited for this because I like that Atlus is continuing to like dive into its older catalog of games that are like not that well known, or of course didn't sell that well. So it's pretty cool that this was here. And for this next one, I don't have much to say besides I want to try it. the Shadow Labyrinth. It's like it's this thing that was based off of like this weird like little series on Amazon based on games, and the one based on Pac-Man was like this weird kind of like freaky take, spooky take on Pac-Man. And they made a game out of it, which is this Shadow Labyrinth. It looks wacky, it looks so weird, but I want to try it, and it's funny that this exists. But yeah, it was cool that they showed off they showed that off again. It's also in the point in the stream where I actually finally ended up fixing the stream, thankfully. Then this next one was again a complete shocker again, but it was Patapon 1+2 replay, and it's like, okay, isn't this like a Sony? Like, I know it has a, you know, Japan studio worked on it, so it's like, okay, there goes a first party Sony IP, I guess, going to the Switch, and it's also going to PS5 and PC. But it's just kind of funny that it's first shown off in a Nintendo Direct, so that's hilarious. But the odd thing is that I think I remember the first game was remastered back in like 2017 for the PS4, so that was released everywhere, like around the world. So that was already a thing. So like, did they derive the first remaster for this replay version or something? I would have thought they would have done the second and third game, but you know, it's still neat. One and two remaster. I actually will probably get this for myself because I like these type of games, but I never finished the first Patapon game because I kind of got filtered by it, if I'm being completely honest with you. And the next one is A New Story of Seasons. I'm not really my kind of thing, but neat that they continue somehow pumping these out. Looks kind of cute. And then, oh boy, we finally came to the Metroid Prime 4 Beyond trailer, and I gotta tell ya, I was wowed. Even in my reaction, I was just kind of like astonished by some of the stuff that was shown. It's not like a full in-depth trailer like we all would have liked, but what they showed off was pretty neat. I love the mind bending stuff, like the psychic powers that Samus now has. It's very trippy, and I think it's just the right thing that she needed just to like differentiate from the previous 3 Prime games. I think it's really neat. Like, you're able to control the trajectory of your, you know, of your shots, open like doors, move objects. I think it's really cool. Plus that new suit they showed at the end, the black and red suit, it looks phenomenal, and I just really want to dig my teeth into it. Problem is that I actually haven't played through Prime 3 yet, and they didn't give a definitive 2025 release yet, not a specific date, which again, it kind of sucks, but it kind of gives me time, like, okay, I should probably get to that Prime 3 and possibly Prime Hunter, since one of the characters from there is featured in Prime 4, so I should probably get around to that too. But yeah, very cool that they at least showed the game off. And then we have another one that's like, I get the idea. It's Disney Villains Cursed Cafe. I get the appeal of this, but it is not at all my thing. Characters look nice though, so it's whatever, but what a funny game that was to announce. Then Witchbrook. I was actually kind of conflicted on this one because I absolutely adored the pixel art style. It is a very pretty game. The kind of game it is does not interest me whatsoever though. Like some kind of witch school, like slice of life, kind of like, you know, life sim kind of games. Like, not my thing. But the Eternal Life of Goldman though, that looked interesting. It's like this hand-drawn. You play as this kind of like kind of grown, older man, and it's like a side scroller, and it's hand-drawn. It's very pretty. Very interested to know about more about that game. And then, okay, this is cool from Konami. Gradius Origins. Gradius Origins comprises a couple of like Gradius titles, like Salamander, Life Force, those type of titles. And they even the cool part is that they're including a brand new title in this series. I think it was Salamander 3. So, wow, good job Konami. They have been really hitting it out of the park with these collections the past like couple of years. I've bought most of them. Sadly though, yeah, the physical is limited run game, so gotta have to shell out money to them again if I want to own it physically. But really cool that they're still going strong with these collections. That was a neat announcement. Then, oh yeah, so Rift of the Necrodancer. This looks absolutely phenomenal. Like, I already absolutely adore Crypt of the Necrodancer on Steam, and I think Cadence of Hyrule is awesome. So this game, it feels like they're cranking up the wackiness to like 11 with this, and it looks like it's very derived off of Rhythm Heaven, which makes it even better. It's like a Guitar Hero and Rhythm Heaven spliced game, which sign me up, you know. And it's already available on Steam, but this pretty much just got like shadow dropped here for the Switch, which is cool. This next one I joked in the stream. I said that this was here's your Tomodachi Life 2, and it's Tamagotchi Plaza. I had such a short phase in my life, very young, about this. I don't know, like I did not end up getting hooked by this stuff back then, so I don't really get it, but I'm shocked it's still going strong. Like I think it's one of the most viewed things on the Japanese side of things in terms of like announcements. So hey, happy for those that are excited for this. It looks cute. And then they finally showed off more about Pokemon ZA. So Pokemon ZA was finally shown off again back in Pokemon Day like a month ago. And while it still looks very rough, the stuff shown off I think is very neat. This time around they showed, Mega Evolutions, and they showed off what happens during the nighttime, which is like this kind of anime-esque like tournament arc that happens across like the whole city, and I think that's awesome. And you're able to like rank up from Z all the way to A, and when you get all the way up there, you're able to get a wish granted, which I'm very interesting what kind of wish they'd let you grant. And like, I don't know, it looked interesting, and honestly looks even more interesting than Arceus in my opinion, but that's just me. But that's also another game that still doesn't have a definitive date for some reason. It's just late 2025. Nintendo, we know it's gonna be in November, December. Like, that's just whenever Pokemon games release, okay? We get it. Alright, so then, this is it. This is the announcement that made the whole direct for me. And it is Rhythm Heaven Groove. I had quite the reaction. The surprise reveal. Oh, is this? It's Rhythm Heaven! Yeah, so I could never have imagined this was gonna be one of the announcements. This is what makes a direct pretty good to me. Like I was so ecstatic. I was actually in a bit in tears over this. So moved that they actually are making a new Rhythm Heaven. It looks great. That announcement was perfect. It felt like they were kind of easing the audience of the direct into like a tutorial of how this kind of franchise works. It was such a cute way to approach the direct. The crime though, even though this is like instantly my most looked forward to game, it is a next year game, and I'm like, why would you announce this for 2026? We're only 3 months into the year of 2025. Very painful, but the greatest announcment for me. This is like my highlight. And then the next thing they showed was not game related. It's one of two non video game exact things they announced, and it's the virtual game cards. I kind of wanted to talk about this in a separate video, but that's already been done to death already. So it interests me. Now, I'm not a digital person. Like, I have probably one digital retail release, and it's Minecraft, and it was gifted to me. So I don't really go out of my way to buy digital retail games. I mostly just buy like smaller indie titles, DLCs for games and stuff like that from time to time. So I don't know how much this would apply to me, but it might apply to my sister because she's more of a digital buyer. So I think this would be neat for her. I think it's cool. I think some people that are hating on it, you don't really have to do it. I think it's a very convoluted way of Nintendo approaching game sharing and stuff. But it's Nintendo. They have to make everything overly complicated. But I think it's a cool feature, neat feature that they're gonna introduce. I think it honestly should have happened way earlier. And then comes the highlight reel. I don't think I cared about anything showed here. High on Life, I couldn't care about that. Star Overdrive, that looks kind of neat. Wandering Village, I kind of only care about that because it's like on top of this gigantic creature, but it's like this management game. I couldn't care. King of Meat, no thank you. Blues Lagoon looks kind of interesting. And then Fantasy Life. I think it's I, right? Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time. That trailer looked rough. I don't know, like, that releases in 2 months. This game got delayed so many times. And it seems like they don't have the performance issues down. And I kind of fear for this game's release when that finally comes out. Late May. We'll see. And then this is another cool remaster they announced, Saga Frontier 2. But like, it feels like every single year they are almost every single year they're releasing like a new Saga remaster. They are just going ham with these remasters for this series or remakes. And I think it's cool, but like slow down Square Enix. Let people have time to get through these. Although I think it's cool. I think it's cool that Square Enix is like pulling out so many of these Saga games from obscurity, because I think the series is known for its difficulty, but like they have always had such low sales, so I'm glad that they're giving all of these games in this series like a second chance. Okay, then the next one, it's another thing that I don't care much about. It's Monument Valley 1 and 2. Those are like, I think they're kind of like classics. Like people really like these. I don't know when these came out, but people really like these. They didn't really grab my attention, but I thought it was neat that right after they announced the third game on top of that, I was like, okay, that's cool. But you know, not really something I'd probably play, but it's cool that they used the first two to announce a third game. Then comes another shocker. It's the second Sony first party IP that got taken, and it's this isn't a remaster like Patapon. This is a new entry in everybody's golf. Everybody loves golf shots. It's so hot shots. I mean, it's so bizarre because both of these are helmed by Bandai Namco, it seems. So it seems like Sony is just giving off their Japan studio IP, licensing them to like Bandai, which, I mean, hey, I don't mind. It's just kind of funny that there's two of these that were announced in a Nintendo Direct of all things. Two first-party Sony games, so it's kind of funny. I remember some people in the chat were like, in the live stream, were like, "Hey, does that mean Gravity Rush? Gravity Rush? Oh my god!" I wouldn't have been shocked at that point if they announced Gravity Rush. But yeah, that was a thing that got announced, and it looks really neat. It's a new game, and I'm like, okay, give us more of these Japan studio games, please. It'd be cool. Oh, and this next one was so neat. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I was really intrigued by this because it looks like those classic, 2D beat 'em ups, and it's like Marvel characters, even some X-Men characters, and it's really cool looking. I love the look of that. Like Shredder's Revenge, all these like old style beat 'em ups just making a comeback. It's always cool. Then we finally got it. This was the last game announcement. So you know how I said I joked about in the Tomogachi Plaza, how I said, oh, here's your Tomodachi Life 2. Well, it's kind of funny how that blew back on my face with them actually announcing a new Tomodachi Life called Living the Dream. And it's actually, if I remember, this is actually like the third game, because I remember there's one on the DS that was Japan only. But anyway, it's the second one we're getting over here. And I never tried out this series. They always looked kind of very quirky and entertaining, but never gave them a try. The fans set trends on like Twitter and stuff. It's like, I think it ended up being Nintendo's most liked post like announcement of all time, and the viewership on, I think, Nintendo of America's like YouTube channel is also like well over 1 million views. It's almost at 1 million views. But yeah, it like completely overshadowed everything, which I'm like, you know what? I'm super happy that this finally happened. It's been so long. I think it's over a decade since that 3DS game. Same thing how with me, Rhythm Heaven Groove. It's been so long since that Mega Mix game. So like those two little guys, we finally got vindication, right? And so it was. I think it's actually the perfect last game to announce in the Switch 1 Focus Direct, because it feels like Tomodachi Life is like that. Even if I've never played it, I understand this is like the perfect kind of like social game. Plus it's Mii focused, so that in and of itself is already great. You know, we need more Mii focused games, and I think this is finally going to put Mii back on the menu, way more focused again. And yeah, a great way to end that direct. But then it wasn't over. They're like, actually, we kind of wanted to give it off to Miyamoto. And it's like, okay. And, you know, it was like a thank you for Nintendo for tuning into like all these. It was kind of like a build up of talking about Nintendo Directs and the concept itself on Direct. And I'm like, wait a minute, are they going to announce a sequel to Nintendo Directs? We're getting Nintendo Directs 2 now or something? No, it's so they can announce the second non-game thing. And it's this application called Nintendo Today. This is weird, but at the same time a neat announcement. Now it's been a couple of days now since the direct, and people have had you know, their time to dig into this app. It's like basically their official news app. They're going to drop news first on this app whenever things happen. You can, you know, set events, you can, you know, notifications for things. It's themed around many different franchises of your choosing. And they actually put Xenoblade up in center for you to choose, and Pikmin, which makes me pretty happy. You know, as a Xenoblade and Pikmin fan, that they're giving, you know, they're letting them take the spotlight like that. But the app itself is very cute now that I've been hands-on with it, and it looks like it might be a legitimate news source, because they actually first dropped news of the release date of the Zelda movie on that app with like a cute little animation and everything. So it's gonna be in March, I think it was March 27, 2027 or something like that. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So it seems like this app is going to be a legitimate news source from Nintendo for us to learn exclusive things from them on this app. So it seems like it ended up being a good thing that this app was announced. So that was it. And as you can tell from the way I talked about everything, it was kind of like I really liked like half of the stuff and didn't really care about like the other half. So it was kind of like a mixed bag, but I think the stuff that I liked was just elevated that much more above the stuff I didn't really care about. So I thought it was pretty good. Like just that Rhythm Heaven. Oh my goodness, that made my world. That meant everything to me. And you know, for the Tomodachi Life fans, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is awesome that this also got a new game. And you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. I think it's finally time for me to dip my toes, because it seems like such a wacky and fun time. So that was the Switch. I think this was the last Switch 1 Focus Direct, and you know what, it makes, for what it was, it makes sense. You know, this is just like, yeah, like I said, the last one focused on the Switch 1, and they kind of just wanted to get this out of the way. It's like, here's the last couple of titles we're going to be probably focusing on before we go full guns blazing with the Switch 2. So, you know, there's that, and I think for what it was pretty good, in my opinion. I like this direct. What did you think of the direct? Did you like it? Were you actually pretty disappointed by it? Just, you know, tell me your thoughts. And again, to those that tuned into the stream, thank you, even though I had those technical difficulties the first couple minutes of it, but I appreciate it. I'm also going to try to live stream the Switch 2 Direct, and I'm sure that's going to be the big one, because I think that's going to be like the most important Direct in Nintendo history, because we're going to be setting some unknown ground here, and after the glory that was the Switch, they are gonna have some big shoes to fill in, and this Direct is what's gonna finally give us everything we are gonna have to know about this new system and its games. It better deliver, right? But yeah, I think this is a pretty good Direct. I would give this Direct like a C to C+. I also wanted to quickly bring up the Japanese Direct, where one notable thing I saw announced just there was a new Super Robot Wars game. I think it was like titled Y, Super Robot Wars Y. The thing that's questionable about that though is that they announced it was getting a global release, so I'm like, why didn't you, just announce it in the direct here? Because I think at this point, a lot of people are already familiar with Super Robot Wars. I'm pretty sure they would have recognized it, sort of.